What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is episode 2 of Twisted Moms. Today we're going to be diving into the beautiful yet challenging parts of motherhood and postpartum journey as well. I'm so excited to welcome Sana, who will be sharing her personal experiences of motherhood, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Join us as she opens up about the emotional and physical challenges of postpartum life and how she's navigated this transformative chapter. So let's get into it. All right, so here's my lovely guest, Sana. So you can introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself.
Hi, my name is Sana. I am 25. I don't really know what to say about myself. I guess it's something that happens when you become a mom. You kind of just have to figure yourself out again, or the new version of yourself, which is what I'm doing now. But I'd say, I'm a new mom.
Okay.
A new mom figuring out life.
How do you, I guess you could say more in a sense of kind of your story when it came to when you found out you were pregnant and how you were handling it through that journey. Because I feel like a lot of moms have pressure when it comes to that, no, this is the way to do it. So I guess what I like to do, from even my previous podcast, to kind of allow all my guests to share their different stories and how they handled their postpartum, also their prenatal journey, because that's a big thing too. So I guess how did you think that you handled your postpartum and prenatal? Let's start with the prenatal first.
Is before.
Yeah, that's during. Basically when you're pregnant. Okay. Yeah, so basically, when you first found out that you were pregnant, and how did you basically handle it? And maybe if there's something that you wish you would have done differently.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's sometimes all moms will be I wish I could have done this differently.
Yeah.
So I guess starting off with that, when you found out, and how did you transition, I guess?
So when I found out, I almost felt like I was at a peak, or reaching the peak of the things that I wanted for myself. Mm-hmm. So at the time, right before I found out, I had just gone viral on Instagram with a singing video, and that was my dream, my passion. I always wanted to sing. And
she can sing, guys. Don't worry, when you go see that, you're going to see a little snippet later.
So that was really exciting for me, and I was oh my God, this is happening. It's all new, and I was looking forward to it. And then, I was going hard with my videos, my content, everything. And then a few months later, I found out I was pregnant, and I was just no way.
Yeah.
Because I already knew it was going to pause my progress and kind of what I wanted to do personally with my career.
Yeah.
So I definitely cried. I was not very happy about it, if I'm being honest.
But that's normal.
Yeah.
So at least you're able to realize that.
Yeah.
Because I feel when it comes to pregnancies, people always think it's just the pictures and all these things. No, that's a valid, sometimes pregnancies are unplanned. They're not right then and there, and it's a rush full of emotions, and on top of that, hormones. The first trimester is the peakest. Your hormones is all out of whack. You feel crying, you're angry, sad. You don't know what to feel, and this is also your first time being pregnant,
right?
So you're oh my God, what's gonna happen next? So
before I actually saw the pregnancy test, I knew I was pregnant because I was waking up every morning burping.
Yeah.
And I was this is weird. And I was just burping everywhere all the time. I was I'm pregnant. I know it. So I just waited the 2 weeks, and then it was positive. So yeah, it was difficult to kind of accept it, but I always wanted to be a mom.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah. It just wasn't the timing that I thought it would be at.
But look, you're doing the thing, so
I know.
That's good.
She's the best thing that ever happened to me, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you feel time has gone by fast?
For sure. I remember just being postpartum, super, oh my God, what is going on? Mm-hmm. There's a baby here. This is my life now.
Yeah.
How do it's a transition from being all about yourself to now you can't be all about yourself because it's not about you anymore. And it's it doesn't matter if your nails are crusty, if you didn't shower, if your hair looks crazy,
Yep.
if your hair is falling
Yep,
out.
I told you guys. Remember how last time I came? Look, I'm in sweatpants, head tie, chilling with no makeup on. Okay, like it's okay. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's about
And
it.
then, how do you feel that your man took it? Like, was he excited about it? Like, did he order? Cause did you guys know that you guys were gonna have a girl, or did you guys were like, yeah, I think I'm gonna have a boy? Like,
We thought it was a boy the
Yeah.
whole time, and I wasn't gonna do a gender reveal or anything. I was gonna find out while I had gave birth.
oh wow.
Yeah, but then something changed, and we were like, whatever, let's just do it. So literally, while I was like 8 months pregnant, we had a gender reveal.
Really?
Yeah, and right before the gender reveal, I had a dream, and it was a baby in a crib, and in the dream, it was a girl.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
I
god.
knew it was a girl. Like, there was nothing obvious about
Yeah.
it. It just was a girl. And I knew after that I was having a girl. I was
Oh
like,
my
I know I'm having a girl.
That's so cool. And then, like, okay, so obviously your transition with that, like, obviously your man thought you were having a boy too. Like, how did he feel about it? He's like, oh my god, like I'm gonna be a girl dad. Like, how does?
I don't think we really had expectations. Like,
Yeah.
it was just kind of like, if it's a girl, this is what we're going to name it. If it's a boy, this is what we're going to name it, you know? And it was nothing like more, like wanting one more than the other. Especially because it's like the first one, you know?
Yeah.
I always thought I'd be a boy mom, though.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when I got pregnant with my son, as I previously said, I always knew that I was going to have a boy. Like, even my whole entire family, I told myself, like, God forbid I had a girl, I would never want to show them that video because my whole family was wearing blue. The entire family. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the stage that you were in your life, that you felt like you were, you know, really focused on your music stuff, that you really wanted to, kind of like you were just pouring into yourself.
Yeah.
So then you transitioned, and then, you know, you were kind of just all about being a mom.
Yeah.
I guess you could say, let's kind of stay on that. Kind of, do you feel like now that your daughter's obviously a little older now, that you have that time to go back, or even like that you want to still have that passion to go into that? Because, you know, you as a mom now, a lot of point of views, a lot of things are different now.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you feel with that?
So for me, before my daughter, I always had a little bit of an internal struggle with like making music, just because I felt like the industry was like a crazy world that I didn't know if I'd be able to fit into and like morph myself into something that I wasn't. So I did pray about that a lot, just like my career, what was I doing and things like that. And then when my daughter came along, it kind of just put everything in perspective to me that I was not trying to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I love music. I love singing. Like, I love dancing. I love everything about entertainment. But I don't see myself doing it as like a career anymore. And I think that gave me so much peace of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're able to see that, because I think also what a lot of people struggle with is that it's okay to miss, like you said, you had that peace of mind, right? It's okay that you still have love for music and stuff like that, but you're okay with that chapter closing.
Yeah.
And I feel like so many moms struggle with that. Like, even me, myself, I have that kind of like identity, kind of like, oh my God, like I miss the old me.
Yeah.
But as you get older, it's like you start to realize like it's okay for that chapter to close. You experienced it, you lived it, you had fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
But now it's time to get into the next chapter of my life, and it's okay to close that. And I feel like that's something a lot of parents, you know, even sometimes with dads or primary caretakers, once you have a child in front of you, life flashes, nothing else matters. It's just that child, and you want to protect them. And even like you said, the music industry is a very, very hard place to have that protection of, you know. And it's not like, girl, you was popping. I'm telling you, like, I forgot the name of the song, but I had it. I was like, it was a nice bust down wine. Like, it was cute, and it's something that it was catchy. And eventually, I think with social media now, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. I just got back on Snapchat, and I saw like it's literally like TikTok now. I don't know if you have been on Snapchat.
I've not been on Snapchat.
It's literally like TikTok.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's like people, like, you slide up, like you be seeing more. Like, it's not about who you're friends with now. Like, it's about different things. Like, it's literally just swiping.
Like an explorer.
Yeah, so I
kind
feel
of.
like the networking in the last years have advanced like through the roof. So even with that, how quick things could go viral, and it's like now once you're in that public eye, everything you do, everything, what you wear, if you're out with your kid, even that, I always think about that, like, damn, like all these things that parents struggle with. Like, for example, look at Justin Bieber.
Right.
With his wife, and you know, always having that pressure, and then it's like, what if your child doesn't want to live in that spotlight?
Right.
They want to be having something completely different, and then it's like, you got to pick between your kid or fame. And that's a hard thing. Yes. So it's something that, like you said, like you're able to close it off. You're able to feel like, you know what, it's okay. I have it there. And it's not like you can't go back. There are people that, listen, they make hits at 30, 40 years old.
Yeah, that's true.
So listen, we live, you know, as long as you're able to do it, even something that you could do on your own as a hobby,
yes,
you always can do that.
I would definitely do it as like a hobby, for sure. I don't think I'd take it like too seriously as I was before, but honestly too, like I feel like I had pretty good success with it. Like even my first song, the first song I ever released was played on 105.1.
Yes.
And
I remember you posted that.
Yeah,
yes.
I reached out to like Love and Hip Hop and stuff, and they were trying to use it too. And that was like the first song that I ever made. And then I got connected with like people who are like really been working in the industry for a long time and making music with them. So like I feel like I had the beginning of almost like a success story, but every time the door would just close. And I felt like that was a sign from God. Like, this is not really the thing for you.
Yeah, always take that.
It's so crazy.
Yes, always take that. I think that once something is not for you, God will knock right there and be like, no, but that door closes for another one to open. And I think that that's okay too. I think it's just all about these transitioning, so many things changing, and it's all at once.
Yeah.
And I feel like the stigma behind it is like you have to know what you're doing or you're going to fail. And I think that's another thing that I always struggled with. Like, I have to be perfect. I have to be perfect for my child, because I don't want my child to look at me any different. You know, you look at it, you want your child to look at you like, that's my role model. That's who I want to look up to. And for you to sit there and be like, okay, I can't mess this up.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, there's a child's future in your hands.
Right.
I'm just an overthinker like that. Like, people be like, you're thinking too far ahead. I'll be like, listen, that little boy will be in first grade soon, second grade, third grade, and it's crazy. Like, I have a little brother. He's 18 now. That was my first baby. And I tell myself, like, he's 18 now. Like, you know, you have siblings. So,
yeah, I have a little
exactly.
brother too.
So it's like, they're all grown now. Like, they have their own lives. And it's like, now we're parents, and now we have our own little little lives in there. So it's a lot. It's a lot to uncover, but I think that just the conversation about it, it's able to bring awareness to it and kind of show everybody, like, it's okay, you know? And that's kind of what I wanted to implement. I wanted to do it in the beginning, with, you know, the kind of the phrase of the week. I want to try to implement this on every single episode, where I kind of gather some positive things to give to you guys and kind of reassure you, like, you know, it's okay not to be okay. And that's the biggest thing I go by now as a mom, because I feel like I struggle with sometimes that I feel like even when I'm sad or I have things going on, that I can't feel that because I have a child. But I realize, like, it's okay. Like, you know, kids are going to grow up to see, like, it's okay to have different emotions. It's just how you handle them, you know?
True.
So it's okay to not be okay. Just work through it, navigate it, feel it, and then you see how you can learn from it and move forward.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true, because I honestly wouldn't say that I'm not okay not being okay, because I'm very emotional.
Yeah.
And I've always been like very in tune with like how I feel, and like if I'm not feeling good, you're gonna see it, you're gonna know it. Like, I'm not gonna be like a raging lunatic or anything like that, but like, you know, it's obvious. And even with my daughter, she'll see me when I'm upset, but I always make sure that, like, if I do take a step too far, like I do kind of come back and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. That wasn't right of me to do that. Yeah. Or, you know, just even with my own emotions.
And that's good. I feel like people, at least maybe the older generations, it's very hard for them to apologize and to say, you know, I'm sorry for hurting you. I'm sorry. Like, it's such a big ego thing. Or maybe also too, I don't even want to say it's just the ego thing, but that's what they were brought on.
Yeah.
And stems from generational, you know. So you just doing that, look at that, generational right there, you know. You're being able to break that and acknowledge that, and that will be when I feel like with children, schedules and routines, they learn that. Yeah. This is one thing my mom always told me. Kids are like sponges. They absorb everything.
So true.
So if you see a little boy acting up or a little girl acting up, where'd they get it from? Who were they around? Where did they hear it from? You know, so I definitely think that that's so amazing that you're able to I'm sorry, that's not the right way to do it.
Yeah.
To show them, like, it's okay to make mistakes, but you need to own up to the mistakes. And you need to say, hey, this is not right of me, you know, and also caring about her feelings so that way she feels heard.
Yeah.
So I love talking about all of these things because I'm in, when in school, I'm in a counseling minor. So all about mental health.
That's awesome.
Like, it's a lot of things that you sit there and you analyze and you're just like, wow, like the smallest things, there's a whole psychological background behind it. And I'm like, wow.
It's so true. I try not to, like, what is it called? Psychologically analyze people.
Oh, I do it all the
don't
time.
Have any type of
But it's okay. But you know what's the crazy part? The fact that you're doing that, it shows that you're a little bit more, I don't know if the word is like woke, but it's more like you're more aware of that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and this is something even like I did in my school last week, or a few weeks ago, we had to do like a case study, and we were talking about like basically the homeless people on the train.
Yeah.
And how we view them, how we automatically, oh, they're crackheads, they're this, they're that. But then the psychological background about it is what made them to be like that?
Right.
What struggles did they go through? Do they have children? Do they have this? And it's just like, it made me realize, like, damn, we're mad foul to people. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I've never done that.
No, but and that's the thing that's great. But I think it's just living in New York. I think it's just New York because I see other places and they're not so, I feel like just New York is just so aggressive.
It's true.
It's a grimy, like, it's a survival of the fittest, and, you know, everybody looks this way, one way or another, and that's another thing that's scary, raising kids. Like, I tell myself, me raising a boy, I'm scared of that, because I feel like it's they have to be tough, they have to do this, they have to do that, and I don't want that, you know, and I tell myself, like, it's hard to just raise these newer kids in these generations. Don't be like this person, be kind, because sometimes being kind, people take it as offensive, like this offensive, you know, they'll be like, oh, you're being nice, that's the weakest person, let me go pick on them,
right?
You know, and then it's like they realize, oh, that's not the weakest thing, because they got a whole team behind them, and it's just a lot to unravel. So
do you ever feel like, I'm sorry, I wanted to ask
you.
No,
go ahead.
Do you ever feel like you kind of can balance that with his father, like you just kind of like be a woman and a mom and like give him that like teaching of like the warmness and the tenderness and stuff, and
so
then he does the other part?
Me, so his dad is very, like, his dad was in the military, so his dad is very kind of like tough love kind of thing, but so am I. I've always been that kind of alpha female, and that's kind of where I struggle with his dad. So, but I've learned with that, like, no, especially because he's a boy, I want him to feel mama's love. I want him to know, like, you know, I'm your mom always, but I can also be your friend. You know, I don't want my son to ever feel like he's not welcome to talk to me about anything. I feel like a lot of children, when they don't have nobody to talk at home, that's when they go out looking for things, you know, whether it's street stuff or just being mean to people because they don't have an outlet. So obviously it's normal if you don't have an outlet to speak to anybody. It builds up, and eventually you explode.
Yeah.
And with boys specifically, they're raging little gremlins, you know, and if you don't navigate that, it can be a disaster. Yeah. And I look at it, I want my son to be aware of his feelings, obviously not over emotional, because I'm an over emotional person and it's hard already, you know, and I feel like it stems from the beginning. So it's a little bit of a process that I do struggle with his dad, where it's like I want to be able to show him that motherly, but also to be tough, you know, because his dad is just be tough all the time. Like, you know, his dad's just like, don't cry. You know, that's where me and him have that conflict. You know, he'll be like, it's okay, you know, get up. Like, for example, my son is up and running all the time, everywhere. He does not sit down, and he falls a lot. So, you know, I've kind of learned, and I've seen that differently. Like, for example, with my grandmothers, oh my God, he falls. Oh my God, is he okay? And I'm like, he's fine. It's okay. We laugh it off. Try to not pay him any mind. Because once you pay him mind, it kind of startles them, and then they'll be like, oh my God, I have to cry. Like, you know, the attention's on me. So my son falls, I think, like maybe like 2-3 times a day, and I just be like, get up, puppy, you're okay, it's okay, and he'll brush it off, he'll walk around like he's cool, he's over here like, all right, I'm cool, and then he'll get right back up, you know. And even sometimes too, like in the doctor appointments when his dad is with me, oh my God, like before, in the beginning when they would have to give the shots and stuff like that, I would literally be crying. I'll be like clenching, I'll be like, oh my God, like you guys are hurting him, like and his dad would be like, Sam, it's okay, like he's fine, like he's good now. And I'll be like, no, like I just want to take him home. Like, it's just that protectiveness that you want over your baby. And I think that's I can say that I'm a little bit like the feminine part, like, like I'm that motherly, and then it's like his dad. But it comes with, I think it just comes with personalities. And I feel like one thing I can say with me and my son's father, we have very passionate, strong personalities. So it kind of tends to clash a little bit. So we try to find that balance. But I definitely think that also too, where it comes to it, my son's father's an athlete. Like, he's very into sports, he's very into fitness, all that stuff. So I'm hoping, and that's the thing that I can say that I'm happy that we could both agree on. If he's not an athlete, if he wants to be a drummer, even a singer or something like that, it's completely okay. We're both like, it's whatever makes you happy. As long as you're able to try things, because that's another thing I feel like with certain kids. No, mommy, I don't want to do that. Okay, why? Maybe try it. If you don't like it, okay, no problem. But you don't want to sit here and be like, oh man, I wish I would have tried that. And then you didn't have the opportunity to do it. So I think definitely having that from his dad is definitely balancing it. I think it's just all a learning journey, I think
that, yeah.
Also too, our kids are growing every day and they're growing more personalities, so it's like, is it really a balance of us, or is it him balancing us out? Kind of like, okay, I want this from mommy, I want this from daddy. So I think it's just as the time goes by, he'll be able to be like, I want this from mommy. This is what I get from mommy, and I don't want that from daddy.
That's true, actually.
You know do you see that with your daughter? Like certain things that she wants from you, and then certain things she wants from her dad? Or you
maybe
think it's
not.
like both?
Maybe I don't think it's like a conscious choice of hers at this point. But me growing up with like siblings, I can say that we grew up in the same household with two parents all our life, and we're all so different. And I've chosen certain things that I wanted to pick up or like be like, and they've chosen certain things that they wanted to be like. So I can relate to that. That's
that you
a
can
good
see
point.
you can see the difference. Like, you could do all you want, and then the kid will grow up completely different. So
they're their own little person.
Oh, yes, they are. Now, we're going to get into a little bit more of a, I guess you could say, a more dense conversation, I guess you could say. So, based off your cultural backgrounds, was having a child, you could say, at a young age, a norm? Why not? In your opinion, like, how did you overcome that? If it was difficult, if it wasn't difficult, like with your culture and how your family's dynamic was?
So I think in my culture, it's encouraged for like young adults to like start their careers, get married, have children, and like in that order. But probably in my family, at the time when I told them, they probably would have wanted me to wait a little bit longer. Just because I was still very young and still figuring out myself. For me, I kind of just took a long time to kind of express what was going on in my life at the time.
I remember you were very secret. I think when we first, like, the whole world saw you were already towards the ending of your pregnancy, right? That must have been so hard. Was it hard for you, or you feel like it was like good?
It was so good.
It
was so good.
Kept the peace.
I just kept the peace. Like, my pregnancy, thank God, was so beautiful. Like, I have no complaints. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, my pregnancy was so beautiful. And I was trying to keep my peace as much as possible. And I did a pretty good job, I'd say. Like, I enjoyed it. It was good.
Now, with that, was your family having a hard time keeping it a secret, or they were okay with that too?
They were okay with it. It's nothing that was out of the ordinary for them to, like, they wouldn't have nobody to tell.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like was it just like your intermediate family that they just knew, or all your family knew about it, they just never told anyone outside of your family, if that makes sense?
Well, honestly, I didn't tell even my own family for like a while.
Oh, so they just saw you pop out with a child, like, hey.
No. It was like up until like I was pretty out there.
like showing wise. But that's fun. But I think that even just that's fun, because you could say you kept the peace. You don't have to worry about nobody's opinion, nothing. Like, it's just that. So back to where we were. I don't want to pivot off of that. So so you were saying, like, with the career-wise and stuff like that, but as you see now, do you think that you would have changed anything in a sense of the age, the time? Do you feel like it was a good time? How do you feel like your family looked at it? Do you think that they had like a different point of view? Like, how was that experience for you?
I would not change anything. I think having my daughter changed me for the better. And I think that my family could second that and be like, they love her to death. And my family is like obsessed with her. They call me like every day. They want me home every week. And
she's the only grandchild.
Yeah, she's the only grandchild. Okay. So they're obsessed. I wouldn't change anything about that experience. The best thing that happened to me so far, and I can only see like only great things came out of having her, and I know more good things will come, just from her being in my life.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I feel like it's so, I don't know if like you've seen it, but I don't know, for me, I feel like postpartum and just motherhood for so many moms out there, it's been hard for them. Like, it's like, because they feel like they can't focus on their own self, or not even their own self. They can't focus on the child, like the moments, because they're going through their own stuff, and they're just like, oh my God. And certain things, with just postpartum in general, it's like life flashes. Like, you from one day you're in the hospital giving birth, and then the next you're celebrating their first birthday.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to postpartum, that's another story. Like, postpartum was crazy. That was like from my pregnancy being beautiful and peaceful and healthy to like postpartum, like I'm in the trenches. It was tough. My daughter cluster fed in the hospital for the whole time I was there. Three nights. I slept for 15 minutes. So sleep deprivation started like
as soon as she came out.
As soon as she came out.
Wow.
She slept because she was probably like exhausted from whatever they had going on. And then when she woke up, it was over for me. Like, I did not sleep at all. And then when I got home, I was doing the 2-hour, every 2 hours waking up and just breastfeeding her all day, trying to nap with her, trying to eat, I had no other thing but a baby like attached to me, and you're just trying to like figure out like what is going on.
You were in mom mode, like
super mom mode, yeah. But I honestly, looking back, those were such sweet like moments, because it was just me and her.
Yeah.
And we were just always napping together. Yeah. And she was so tiny.
And you like, so it's like a little bit like a protective, like she's just there, like just there on you. I tell myself now, if I could literally put my son back in my stomach, I think I would.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's just like because he's mine. Like, I don't want him around nobody. Like, it's just me. Or even, not even just in my stomach, but him as a baby. Yeah. Just because I just feel him on my chest. Yeah. He's not wanting to go this way, that way, around anyone or anything. He's just you and your baby. Yeah. And I definitely think that, for me at least, the postpartum, like, it was very hard to, like, capture. Like, I think that pictures, always take pictures, videos, anything you can to capture that moment. Because for me, my postpartum was so blurry that there were certain things, like, I look back, I'm like, oh my God, like, that actually happened. Like, I'm happy that those moments came about. So, like you were saying, with you having that hard transition with pregnancy, everything was smooth, and then postpartum, being in the trenches, how do you think you navigated that? Like, in a sense of, what helped you navigate through it?
Sheesh. I mean, God, first and foremost. Like, God's always, like, my support system for, like, everything in life. Like, when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm proud, whatever. So, yeah, just talking to God a lot throughout those times. And trying my best to, like, really be in the moment, even when I was so disconnected. Because even when my daughter was born, I thought I would have, like, that, oh my God, like, that feeling. I didn't have a feeling, and I was so confused by it. You
know what's so crazy? I felt the same exact way.
Yeah.
I told myself, like, it was for maybe about for, like, the first 3 months. Like, I know that he's mine. I know that I have a duty to take care of him and all these things, but it wasn't like that. Oh my God, like, that's me, like, that's mine. You know, it was a very disconnect thing, and I feel like that's so underlooked, and not even underlooked, but I feel like it's so looked down upon. When you say that, they'll be like, what do you mean? Like, that's your child. Like, what do you mean? Like, it came out of you. Yeah. Like, just because our body went through a trauma, our body went through certain things that it's processing, you know, the body's creating a baby for all these 10 months and now it's completely out of you. Now your organs are rearranging right back into it. So it's hard, and I feel like so many moms, at least for myself, and maybe you could say for you, it was kind of like a weird topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Because you feel like people will be looking at it like, what do you mean you're disconnected? And some people can't even relate. Or maybe they don't know that they can relate because they didn't even see it that way. Because times have changed. I definitely, even from what my mother told me, so many things with social media, mental health, postpartum. You know, people say that, oh, maybe I had postpartum, but I didn't know because there weren't the resources, there weren't the diagnosis. All these diagnoses are coming in the upcoming years. You know, there's a bunch of different disorders, behaviors that nobody even knows about.
Right.
And it's just, it's so under talked about. And I think that that's the best part, to talk about these things when it comes to postpartum. Like, again, like I said, it's okay not to be okay. Like you said, enjoying the moment and just taking every like just you being that sponge, you know, and just absorbing everything of it, like good or bad, you know, like my daughter's here, my son is here. We just got to go with the flow and just roll with the punches, you know, and that it's okay that it doesn't look like social media. It doesn't look like the influencers, because I definitely think that's a big thing that my mom tells me all the time, like, I'm so happy I didn't grow up with social media, because we all would have been in the trenches, like just looking at everybody, trying to be like this person or trying to make it seem, you know, unfortunately for me, I didn't get the experience with the whole nursery, because I was moving from house to house to house because there was always certain issues with the place or the people I was moving. It was just a lot. So I never had that luxury, like how these moms, they post their nursery or, you know, kind of like sharing a room with our, like my son. It was like, oh, like he doesn't have his own space. I felt guilty about it, but then I'm so happy, like there are certain moms that do the same thing, and they kind of, they show it on TikTok, and it's such a positive community behind it. Like, it's okay. There are so many kids that don't even have that, and kids are at least grateful they have their little corner where it's their bed, their little stuffed animals, the clean environment, you know. And I feel like that's something that I'm grateful that I'm able to realize, like, kids don't need much.
They don't.
They just need a loving home, you know, clothes to have on themselves, a good meal, and just love, and they'll be fine. They don't need the brand, the most expensive things, nothing. And I think that that's something that just to install into a child is beautiful, that they don't have to be on the, oh, I have to have this, I have to have that, I have to be like this person or that. Like, no, be yourself. As long as you come home from a loving family, and that's all you have to worry about. And also too, they're not going to remember all of these things. I think that that's something that I'm so happy I could tell myself, this is just temporary.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I could be in the trenches now, but my son maybe, mommy, I don't remember that.
I don't remember a lot of things from my childhood, but my sister remembers a lot.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I remember when we was 2 years old, and I'm like,
like, what, girl? Like, I don't remember this. But exactly.
I think about that. I'm like, dang, I hope my daughter has a beautiful life, thank God.
Yeah.
But I be like, dang, I hope she doesn't remember a few things. Maybe, you know.
But maybe even, let's say if she does, you could take it as, listen, that was when mommy wasn't 100%. Mommy was learning. You know, she is the first child, and I think that that's something that even my mom told me. First children always teach you everything. Yeah. I don't even want to say it because I've heard certain people say it, but it sounds like a negative. Like, oh, like the first child is always the trials, tribulation child. Yes, but no.
Right.
You know, I think it's just about. It's the first time you're being a mom. It's the first time that you're learning. So, yeah, you're going to learn a lot. You know, the way my mom raised me and taught me is very different from how she raised my brother. Mm-hmm. Because, one, we were 6 years apart. My mom was a teen mom. So when she had me, she was learning about herself. She was growing up with me. Then, rather with my brother, I believe she was 25, 26, a little bit different, you know. And that's okay. And I think that that's something that people struggle with too, you know, like, oh my God, like, you know, once I'm like this with this child, I have to, you know, it's a smooth, well, hopefully I could say, because I don't have more kids, but if I do, I know now what I know with my son. Yeah. That way I know what's right, what I should do, if I'm in this situation, what not to do for the next one. Do you think that, I know this is a little bit, but like from you, because you have, from, I believe it's you, your sister, and then your brother, right? Or you have more siblings?
I have 2 sisters and 1 brother.
Okay. So with that, do you feel like your parents have different parenting styles with each of you guys, or it's kind of like all under the same thing? Oh, you'd be like, yeah, that's the favorite one. Like,
for sure. I mean, yeah, I think it's only natural though. And I also think about how sometimes I'm like hyper focused on like, I don't want to mess my daughter up.
Yes.
And then I kind of have to remind myself that I can protect her from the things that I didn't like growing up, but there's certain things that I may not be aware of that she will not like or that will affect her. And there's just no such thing as like perfection.
Yes.
You're not going to be perfect in parenting at all. You can try your best. You can be a great parent, and hopefully your kids can see that and they will be grateful for it, even if there's some little things here and there that are like, dang, so it's just like learning how to live life together, I guess.
Yes, but the fact that you even are understanding that and able to kind of give yourself grace, that just shows you're a good parent, because a lot of parents don't think like that. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's so many kids that are in the system or have parents that they don't think that far ahead. Yeah. And sometimes it's not even the parents' fault. Now, don't get me wrong, there are parents that are crappy parents, that they shouldn't be parents. But there are other parents that didn't know better because they weren't taught better. But the fact that you're able to sit there and be like aware and be like, oh my God, I don't want to mess my child up, that already is like, you're good. You're doing it. It's okay. Because I'm the same way. I think about, oh my God, I think about that all the time. I could literally think like, oh my God, is this going to mess him up in college? That's how far. I'm such an overthinker.
I need to get that far, girl.
No,
I need to get as far as you go.
Oh my God, no. Because it's like not, oh my God, I'd be driving myself nuts but then that's
good
another
though,
thing.
because then you're planning, like you're aware of like what's to come. A future.
Yes. And I think that's kind of why I give myself that grace. Like, it's okay. You're thinking about it. Like, as long as you're thinking about it, obviously don't dwell on it. Don't sit there and let it soak you up. But, that can be in the back of my head, and it can be like, okay, I'm going to make sure that he's this, and that. But also allowing him to make these mistakes, because even my mom has said it, she wishes that she let me explore a little more, because she was on the stricter side. She was that kind of mom where I would be the first one going home. I would be, I couldn't go here and here because of her own experiences. However, I ended up getting into them anyways, because unfortunately I was that kind of rebellious child growing up. But she even said it. She's like, I do wish that I kind of allowed you to create your own path. And I think that that's something that I have to, because I understand my mom now, where it's not because she wanted to be the mean parent. It was just she was trying to protect me from the world. And I think that she wanted to make sure that I was just safe all the time. And I understand that now. But I'm able to also take from her mistake what she told me. I wish that I can be like, okay, I'm going to give all these tools to my son, and let's see what he does with them. Not be like, okay, no, you have to do this because I said so. Right. No, it's like, I am the adult, but I'm more of a guide to you rather than like an authoritative figure. Yes. If that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Because I think that that's what kids struggle with, like, oh, like that's mom and dad. And then that's when they get scared to come to mom and dad. And then that's when stuff goes left,
That's true.
So I think that just learning from mistakes and being aware and just acknowledging that part is the best thing. So I like this. We're getting a conversation going. I love talking about it. It's a lot. People, I feel like sometimes, like I said, people don't like talking about it, but you roll with the punches. So as long as we're doing that and our kids are happy, which I'm sure your daughter is very much happy. Even the little clips that you do post of her, she looks like she's a happy, active kid.
She's so active, and she's a big personality. I don't even know.
What's her sign?
She's in Aries, I think.
Oh, so her birthday's coming
April
up.
April 12th.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow, she is in Aries. Oh, yeah, they got a little spice to them. Like, they're cool, they're fun, but that little, Yeah, I know. So kind of going back to a little bit towards your pregnancy, what trimester do you think was the hardest for you, and why?
The hardest trimester?
Like, it may not be even like emotionally, just maybe like physically.
Yeah.
Like.
I think probably around like 8 months, because I was working up until like 1 month before I gave birth. I would have worked throughout the whole thing, but physically I just couldn't do it anymore.
Oh my God, so kudos to you.
Yeah. Well, I think that helped a lot though.
Yeah,
With
because
delivery and stuff like that.
I worked remotely completely. And also on top of that, my son's a winter baby. So I did not exercise. And I honestly think that that's another reason, because my son was a C-section. So him being in the C-section and all these things, I feel like if I was a little bit more active, maybe it would have been a little bit smoother. Also helping him because he never turned. He was stubborn. He did not want to turn. So I think with that, definitely exercising when you're pregnant, or not even exercising, but even taking walks down the stairs, or just stretching. I think that definitely plays a part in it. And if you're saying about you was working a job, you was definitely on your feet for a while.
Yeah, I was on my feet every day. And I would actually, in my next pregnancy, God willing, I will be more active.
Yeah.
Just because I know it'll help me out so much more if I am.
I mean, I've seen girls, they be having big bellies dancing and stuff. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, you did it a little bit too.
A little bit.
And how did you feel? I mean, I gave you so much props for it. I was like, I couldn't even imagine. Like, I was just so over it towards the end. I was like, oh my God, let's get this baby out. Like, I miss my body. Like, because he was, like, did you feel that when you was like over here popping and all that stuff? Like, do you feel like she felt that? Like, no, I don't want to say discomfort. Yeah, like, was it more like when you were doing it, did it feel like how you were, like, obviously there's a belly, obviously. But in a sense of, did it feel comfortable for you? Did it feel discomforting for you?
I don't think it felt uncomfortable in any concerning way, but I think my mind was always like, I don't know if this is safe.
Yeah.
So I just tried not to do it.
Yeah. But I know it's probably hard because that's what you were used to. But do you think that, okay, so you said that the 8th month was kind of like more like a little bit difficult for you. So like you said that you were, if it was up to you, you would work the whole thing, but obviously you couldn't. Do you feel like anything in that time of discomfort that you could have done something differently, that you know what you know now, or you feel like, how you handled it was
I was
good?
just so big. I was so big. People at my job would always be like, "Oh, you're pregnant in the front and the back," and like I was just round all around, like, and it was heavy. Everything was heavy.
Yeah.
So I think next time, if you're asking like, what would I do?
Yeah.
I would definitely not eat for 2.
Oh,
I would work out my whole pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I always ate healthy and stuff, but like I had some crazy cravings where I, like, every night after work, I would go to CVS, grab myself a big pack of Ghirardelli's dark chocolate sea salt caramel.
Oh, wow.
And dog the whole thing that night with like a pack of Twizzlers.
No, but you know what's the crazy part? Yeah, when me and my son's father would go out, we would literally, like, I remember one time, and I kind of caught offense to it, because we went out to eat, and it was to a Spanish restaurant, and it's just like, I can't even get mad, because that's how Spanish people are, but whatever. So we went out, and I ordered soup, and I think I was like 7-8 months pregnant already, so I was big, but not too big. So I ordered soup, I ordered steak, rice and beans, like, you saw different plates, and then my son's father just orders like one plate, and then she looks at me, she's like, this is all for you? So I was, it was the winter, it was cold, so I'm like, I have layers on, so it's not like you can see, so I lifted up, I was like, yes, again, this is all for me. And then she's like, congrats.
That's so rude.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what, I wasn't about to leave your ass a tip, but it's okay, whatever. But I think definitely with that, like, the cravings.
Yeah.
Do you eat them still now, or you just don't even like?
I never even was like a sweets kind of person. So,
so
it was a lot of the hormones, and like my sister asked her. This is like a little bit off topic, but my sister asked her. She's like, "Oh, what do you remember about being in your mom's belly?" She's like, "It was so spacious, and I was eating lots of chocolate." And I was like,
"What?"
She loves chocolate now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. But
oh my God.
Yeah, I've never been like a super sweets person. Like before that, like I could literally eat a salad every day for the rest of my life. Like a special salad and like with whatever kind of meat in it, and like all the veggies that I like, I will be so happy with that. And also, like rice and chicken and beans and stuff. I like all that stuff too. But I don't like really snack too hard or anything like that. But after I had given birth, it was a little bit hard to like get out of it because I was doing it for so long. Yeah. At that point. But that was a little bit of a struggle too. Like, dang, like I want it, but I shouldn't.
Yeah, that's the struggle I even have with now. I started kind of like recording what I eat, and it's like this AI that tells me like, oh, like it's an okay meal, a low meal. So like I had a day where it's like, okay, I had a chicken Caesar salad for lunch, and then I had ice cream at like 11 o'clock at night. And then I put it, because it's like, I don't want to lie. I don't want to sit here and lie because it's not going to benefit me.
Right.
So it's not like, if you judge me, whatever. Like, it's to help me. So it was telling me, it was like, oh, you know, like, it's low. Try maybe, what did it say? It was like, maybe try snacking on carrots. I'm like, do you think I want to have carrots at 11 o'clock at night? But it's, you know, it's definitely hard. But I think as you become a routine and it kind of like, you kind of deter yourself away from it, you can definitely do it.
Yeah.
But I think it's just about how strong and how badly you want to change that. So I think it's just how bad you want it and how bad you want to create these positive and healthy habits. So I definitely think that. So we're going to kind of go into kind of our biggest kind of thing, and that's why I definitely wanted you to come on, because I love and I see how passionate you are about your fitness and your health. And I feel like, me personally, I struggle with that now. I was always somewhat very active. Like, I used to do MMA. I used to go to the gym. I used to go to Lucille Roberts, do the Zumba classes. Like, I used to do all that stuff. And then I kind of stopped a little bit once work started coming, school. I was always stressed with school, work. And then I got pregnant. And I feel like me working from home, I definitely feel like working from home and me being pregnant in the wintertime kind of messed it all up for me. Because I feel like if I was maybe big during the summer, I'll go take walks. I'll go to the beach. I'll be a lot more active rather than being cooped up at home. So I definitely, like I said, I applaud you so much for that. The way you are so dedicated to that. How do you feel? Because I know we discussed it a little bit, but maybe you could discuss now how kind of jumping back into it and what helped you kind of be this consistent and passionate about your fitness journey after having your daughter.
Yeah, so, well, before having my daughter, I always was very focused. Like, I had a body goal always that I was never able to achieve for whatever reasons, but same thing. Like, I always loved, I was in, like, sports teams, I was doing the gym, I was doing that. So, like, I always loved it as a part of my life before having her. Then after having her, I just couldn't look at myself. Yeah. It was hard to just be okay with the way that I looked. And it killed me. Like, I was like, no way. I'm like 20, 23, 24. I can't not be in my best body. These are my best years. So I would just, that's the alarm for it.
Okay, that's fine.
So yeah, I would just always kind of like a little bit beat myself up about it. And just, I knew I had the tools and like I guess the routine that I know a routine that I can use to get to the body that I wanted. So like first, I really started with my diet, like before anything. Yeah. And I would watch these, like working out just seemed like such a chore. So I would try to make it fun. Yeah. Like Zumba. I used to do Zumba too. Like I love doing Zumba and all that stuff. So I would put like little workout dance videos on YouTube and like do the workouts at home. Yeah. And you feel like that, and you were comfortable in that, right? Because it was in the comfort of your own home, and you weren't around nobody. I really would have preferred to be at the gym. Yeah. Just because, like, my daughter would be jumping all around me. Yeah. And I'd be like, oh, my God, like, I'm already heavy enough as it is. Like, I can't carry you. So it was a little bit stressful in that sense. But minus the working out, the biggest change was my diet. Yeah, which was a crazy thought to me because it wasn't like I was eating a lot before anyways. I just had to kind of like be more mindful, like, okay, I'm gonna have rice today, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of rice and a lot of everything else that's probably healthier. Yeah. And I would probably say like prioritize like my protein and my fiber so you don't get constipated. Yeah. I think that's another thing, like I said, like I struggle with now. And it's also, too, like you said, it was hard for you to look at, and I feel like a lot of moms can relate to that. But this is like the reminder where you have to give your body grace. Yes. Because you created life. Yeah. You carried that for 9-10 months. You created literally like another set of organs. Like literally when I heard this from somebody and they told me that, I was like, damn, you're right. Yeah.
I created a whole human being inside of me. And of course, your body's not going to snap back the exact same way. Some women do have the luxury of that, but some others, it's okay if you don't. Like, it's always based on genetics, you know, body shapes. Not everyone has the same body, you know, unless you have surgeries or anything like that. It's okay for your body not to snap back automatically. But the thing is, with that, you were able to kind of, again, roll with that punch, like, okay, I'm not okay where I am, but I'm going to start doing something about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that for moms, it's very hard for us to kind of, like, I guess you could say, like, get into it where it's like the push, because that's like kind of where I'm at, like the push to be like, because, you know, us being moms, it's very like, oh my God, like I have to do this, but I have to do that. So it's like, you have to really be on tunnel vision when it comes to your fitness and your health. And I think that that's something that moms struggle with, or at least I can say myself, I struggle with, that it's like, I have to be concerned about my health. Like, this can be done later. This can be done later. So like you were saying, like, its biggest thing is your diet. What else do you think that helps you, like, to be like motivated and I guess consistent?
The progress that I did see was like keeping me motivated and keeping me going, and just the goal in my mind of what I want to look like. I think I can even achieve a better body than I had before I had my daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, okay.
And I think it's because I'm older now.
Yeah.
Then, like, back then when I had a body goal when I was like 15, 16, I probably never achieved it, although my body looked great. I think now I can achieve the body that I wanted when I was younger, but it's all up to, like, the information that I learn, how consistent I am, and I really just don't want to let myself down.
Yeah.
There's been a few times where I'm like, I wanted to do something and I wasn't consistent, and you always end up just letting yourself down because you're like, dang, I can't even keep my word to myself.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that that's definitely good, and I think that just with that and kind of allowing viewers to kind of see, like, you know, it's all about you and how badly you want it. The resources are there. You know, we're thankful that we have YouTube, just Google in general, you know, and there's a lot of things that obviously there's certain things you have to pay for, but knowledge is free. Right. So we kind of talked about everything. We spoke about your fitness journey, postpartum. Is there anything, I guess you could say, like, to finish it off, of like advice that you would want to give to moms in a way that you wish that was told to you?
I would say don't listen to anybody, because even if it's your mom, your grandma, whoever, like, you know your baby more than anybody else knows your baby. Even if they had 30 babies, your baby is exclusively yours.
Yes.
And you're the only one in this world who would understand that baby, unlike anyone else.
Yeah.
Try to be in the moment as much as possible. Take lots of photos, like you said. And with the personal, like, fitness stuff, don't beat yourself up about it. Like you said, your body created a whole human, and you're gonna look different. You're gonna look different in a lot of ways. It's gonna be hard to look at yourself, but try to see it in the light of, I did something amazing, and I don't have to stay in this body.
Yeah.
You know, this doesn't have to be forever. It will be forever if I let it be, but it doesn't have to be. Take your time and do things that feel good, and take care of yourself when you can. Ask for help too, and let people help you.
Yes. I had to struggle with that. No, I could do it.
Yeah.
It's okay. I got it.
Let people help you. Like, if they're there and they're offering, take the offer, whatever it is. Go outside for a walk by yourself if you need it for 30 minutes, shower, whatever it is. Go get your nails done.
You got to.
It'll boost you up.
Yes, I tell you. Oh my God, when I just started getting my nails done. I think this is maybe about like the third, fourth set, and my nail tech was like, "Girl, like, how you feel? Like, it's been a while." I'm like, I feel like myself. Like, it's okay to pamper yourself. Like I said, last time I was able to do my makeup, I did it. I felt great. But even sometimes too, if you can't do it, it's okay. Like, you know, it's natural, things happen. You can't, like I said, I'm bummed out. Like it's okay, and it's just about taking care of yourself. Like, don't beat yourself up for it. Because I think also too, when I first started doing it, mom guilt. Oh my God, like,
Yes.
it's okay. Your mommies have to look cute too. Like, I don't want my son just remembering me and be like, Ma, you was looking crazy back in the day. Like, you don't definitely want to do that.
Even with the fitness, I definitely feel like mom guilt too. But like, my daughter gets to come with me to the gym because they have like a kids club. That's the only way I can actually make it to the gym. So that's a great help. But even just focusing on yourself a little bit gives you so much guilt because you're like, this is time away from my baby.
Yeah. But I think she'll also appreciate it in the long run because it's helping you mentally and emotionally. That way you can be there 100% for your daughter.
Yeah.
So I think you're doing well. Well, this is to conclude episode 2 of Twisted Moms. I just want to thank Sana for coming and being a part of the show and being a part of the conversation. We talked about a lot of good stuff today. Hopefully you guys take from it. You guys can relate to it. And hopefully, creating a community and a voice for all moms, dads, caregivers, anybody really who has a little one to look after. And stay tuned for more to come. And like I said, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and I'm excited to see for the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Everything below will have everything you can think of: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You can follow and subscribe there, and you can follow for more updates and for more to come. So thank you guys. Yay!